Hi, I'm Jane from Poppy Patchwork, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make Double Sawtooth Quilt Block. We're launching a tailored paid subscription designed to make your quilting experience even better. Sign up now by clicking the link below. So the double sawtooth block is made up of flying geese, two different sizes of flying geese, and I'm going to make them using the 4 at a time method. I'm going to start by making the larger flying geese, and for this you're going to need fabric B and fabric E. Now on the wrong side of fabric E you need to draw a diagonal line. And then you're going to place two of these in opposite corners of the larger fabric, and the diagonal line should run across the centre. So I'm just lining these nicely in the corners, and now you can see that this line runs from this corner to this corner. So I'm just going to pin that in place. I'll put that to one side, and then we're going to repeat that for the smaller flying geese, and for this you're going to need fabric D and you're going to need your fabric F, and on the wrong side of your fabric F's you're going to draw the diagonal line. Now we're going to take two of those and place them on top of the larger square, again with that diagonal line running across the centre. Now when I go to the sewing machine, I'm going to sew two lines 1/4 inch either side of the drawn line. I'm now going to remove the pins and then cut along the drawn line. And now I'm going to press. So I'm going to set the seams and then press towards the small triangles. And now we're going to place the other squares in the remaining corners. So place the square with the diagonal line running from here to here. So that line, that drawn line, intersects between these two triangles. So I'm going to go back to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch away on both sides of this drawn line. So I'm now going to remove the pins and cut through the drawn line. And now I'm going to press these. So I'm going to set the seam and press towards the smaller triangle. Now I'm going to trim these to the required size. I'm going to use my Ultimate Flying Geese tool, which has been designed by Deb Heatherly for Creative Grids. If you do not have one of these specialty rulers, then you can right mouse click on the link above and it will take you to my video on how to trim flying geese with a standard ruler. So with this ruler, you start by doing trim number 1, lining the point with the lines on the ruler, and we trim along one side and then along the top. And then you rotate the unit and the ruler and trim again. So now we're ready for block layout. So I've laid it out in the block layout, and as you can see there's still a lot of pieces to this. So I'm going to concentrate on this centre section here. So essentially what we're going to do is join this section together like a 9 patch. So I'm going to start by joining these two pieces together in the columns, and then I'll work across the columns. So I've pinned those in place, and now I'm going to pin these in place, and then I can do it all in one go at the sewing machine. So I'm going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm going to sew with these facing up so that I can see where the seams are crossing over for the point, just here. So I'm going to set these seams and press them, and I'm going to press them towards the squares or press them away from the flying geese. So bringing them back into block layout, I'm now going to sew this column into the centre one and this column onto the centre one. And because I've pressed the seams in opposite directions, they should now nest. I'm going to take that back over to the sewing machine. So now I'm going to set the seam and press it away from the flying geese. And now I can return to the block layout. So that's our first sawtooth created. And now we can sew the second sawtooth in place, and we're just going to do that in the same way. I'm going to join these two together in the column and then these along the bottom. So I'm going to take those over to the sewing machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm now going to set the seams and press them. And again I'm going to be pressing them away from the flying geese. So back in block layout, we're going to sew the final two seams, the side columns to the centre column. So once again the seams should have been pressed in opposite directions, and now they will easily nest together. So I'm going to go back over to the sewing machine and sew the last two seams with a 1/4 inch seam. So now I'm going to give those seams a press. I'm going to set the seams and I'm going to press them away from the point of the flying geese. So, congratulations, you have made the Double Sawtooth block. I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and thank you very much for all your support by downloading my patterns and buying my books. Bye for now and happy quilting!